Today we're going to continue to discuss the MetaTrader dialog boxes. Stay right where you are. Hi, this is Tim from TradingStrategyGuides.com. Thanks for coming back for this installment of our trading education series. In today's video, we're going to talk about the MetaTrader chart properties dialog. As usual, this video is not sponsored by MetaTrader, so what you'll hear is my unvarnished opinion. And be sure to stay around to the end of the video, and I'll show you the dream trade for this week. Let's get started. The chart properties dialog box is the place where you can obviously change the chart properties. More specifically, that includes the colors of your chart, the type of chart, and a few other selected items about your chart. To open the chart properties dialog, start on the chart you would like to modify and hit the F8 key. Or you can right-click on the chart and select Properties down here. The chart properties dialog box has two tabs, the Colors tab and the Common tab. The Colors tab will allow you to select the chart colors, and the Common tab allows you to select from several chart options. So let's start on the Colors tab. First of all, the Colors tab has a drop down here to select the color scheme. You can select yellow on black candles, like so, green on black candles, like so, or black on white, like so. Wow, that just kind of burns my eyes out right there. Truth is, I don't really care for any of these default color schemes, and I have my own scheme. I've got it saved right here in the chart templates, just so it was easy to go back to. Even though I use white charts on TradingView, I personally prefer red and green or red and blue candles on a black background for MT4. I can't explain why I use white on TradingView and black on MT4. I just do. As you can see, you can control the color of quite a few different objects on MT4. I'll explain each of these in turn. But first, let's talk about the color selection dialog. Click on the drop-down box for the color. You get the color selection chart. Obviously, you have a myriad of colors here to select from, or you can select none, or you can look at custom colors. Now, the custom color dialog allows you to select your colors in a very specific way, but color theory is way beyond the scope of this video. If color is important to you, then you probably already understand this whole dialog because it's very similar to color dialogs in other graphics programs. You can create 16 custom colors and save them right here using the Add to Custom Colors button, and they will appear in the color selection dialog for you. Now let's take a look at each chart object here. Obviously, the background is the whole background of the chart and the background of the chart scales and everything. Foreground here includes the text colors in the time and price scales. This price scale over here, the time scale down here, but it also applies to the automatic items that are displayed up here in the upper left hand corner. So for example, if we want to change the foreground to green and click OK, you see it changes the price scale, time scale, and the items in the upper left hand corner. The next item in the list is the grid. As I've mentioned before, I don't use the grid very often, but this is what the grid looks like. I think it just makes the chart a little too busy for my taste. But if I do use it, I try to tone the color down as much as possible. The grid color, unfortunately, is also the color of the bid price line. this is the bid price line right here. That's the other reason I don't use a grid. I like to see a fairly prominent line for the bid price, but I don't want the grid to be too loud, so they kind of work at cross purposes to each other. Now the bar up and bar down items are the colors for the bar type charts. It's also the color of the candle border and the candle wicks. Some people like the wicks to match the candle color, but I'm good with gray wicks on a black chart. If you prefer to see your bars with color, you can add color to your bars. As you know, I personally don't use bars. The bull candle and bear candle is the colors of the interior of the up and down candles. Just to be sure you understand, a bull candle is one where the candle open is below the candle close, while a bear candle is just the opposite. I prefer lime and red for my bull and bear candles, but if you want to subdue the color a bit, you can change this to green and this one to crimson, and that subdues the chart just a little if you prefer. The line graph color is the color for line type charts. So let's give this a color of green and turn the line type chart on, and green would be the price on close for each time frame. Again, I don't use line graph charts, so I don't mess with that color very often. Volumes is the color of the volume bars that appear at the bottom of the main chart, right here. As I mentioned in the past, I hate the way they interfere with the candle wicks, so I don't use these volume bars. As I talked about in a prior video, we're looking here at bid charts, or the price at which we sell. If you want to see the ask line or our buy price, this will control the color. And you can see this is what it looks like with the ask line in place. And lastly, the stop levels controls the color of the stop loss line on any orders you may have in place. Well, that covers the colors tab. Let's take a look at the common tab. You'll probably recognize these first four items right here as being on the MT4 menu. The difference is the menu controls the default actions of MT4, while these checkboxes control only this chart. The offline chart options allows you to display custom time frames. As I've mentioned, this is beyond the scope of our training, but you can find lots of info about it on Google. Chart on foreground assures you that the candles on your chart will appear on top of any objects or indicators drawn on the chart. Chart shift controls the amount of space to the right of your chart, just like this toolbar button, and auto scroll controls whether the chart scrolls to keep the current candle in the rightmost position on the chart, just like this toolbar button right here. Scale Fix 1:1 changes the chart scale so the distance from the axis of each candle is equal to 1 pip on the price chart. This Scale Fix item right here allows you to show only a certain price range on your chart. For example, I've set the minimum and maximum from 1.16 to 1.18. When I select that, the chart rescales so that 1.16 appears at the bottom of the chart and 1.18 appears at the top of the chart. I've never used this function, so I haven't given any thought as to how useful it might be. At the top of the next column are the radio buttons for the three types of charts: bar chart, candle chart, and line chart. It's been a very long time since I've looked at either a bar or a line chart. This next group of checkboxes down here covers different chart functions. Show OHLC means to show the open, high, low, and close prices of the current candle. It shows those numbers right up here in the upper left-hand corner of the chart. That's handy if you're looking for exact prices for those things, but I rarely do that myself. Show ask line. When you check that box, it turns on the show period separators, like the main dialog. Show separators at the appropriate period for each time frame. It shows the day separator on the time frames from 5 minutes to 1 hour, the week for the 4 hour, the month for the daily chart, and the year for the weekly and monthly charts. Show grid turns the grid on and off. Show volumes turns the volumes on and off down here. Show object descriptions turns object descriptions on and off. So I'll create a horizontal line right here. I'll select it. I'll open the properties box and I'll type in a description. Let's just say test description. Now you see over here on the left, you can see where it has put test description above that line. If we now turn object descriptions off, it removes that from the line. And that covers the chart properties dialog box today. Next week we'll take a look at some other random hints and kinks in MT4. Let's take a quick look at the Dream Trade for this week. Dream Trades is a new service from Trading Strategy Guides. I've been testing this system out for a few weeks and I'm getting some really nice trades on it. Just a quick overview, Dream Trades shows you selected stock issues that meet the Dream Trades criteria. The stocks are selected by their trade volume and other fundamentals, and also by the price with respect to the three moving averages, the 50-day, the 150-day, and the 200-day simple moving averages. This is the Running with the Bulls page for the potential buy trades for the day. Now let's take a look at charts from prior trades. Atlantic Union, or AUB, made a really nice move on Monday. Down here it hit our first target and I moved the stop down to break even, and then it hit our second target right here and I moved the stop down to the 95% level, or 2177. Now our next target is the 85% level. In other words, I take the entry price of $22.92, multiply it by 0.85, it gives me $19.48, and that'll be our target for the next move of the stop loss. When the price hits that point, I will move the stop loss down to $20.63, and so on. Now I just create a line and I put an alert on the line so it tells me when it hits this price, and then I move the stop loss on down, and I keep doing that until the price turns and hits my stop and takes me out. Now last week's trade was Bloom Energy, or BE, and it hit the first target on Monday right here, and I moved the stop up to break even at 17.23, and then on Tuesday it came down and hit our break even stop. By the way, I just noticed this BE and this BE stands for break even. That's the same abbreviation as the symbol. Anyway, Tuesday the price dropped, hit our break even stock, so no loss or gain on this one except commission, of course. So I'm done with BE for right now. As I've mentioned before, I'm recording this video on Tuesday afternoon, and right now it's pretty late. It's after 5 o'clock New York time. I looked through all the trade setups on the Dream Trades list today, and just about all of them are ready to enter today. So I keep hoping to find something that will be ready to set up tomorrow afternoon, but this list mostly shows trades that are ready to trigger right now. So I'll keep trying, but I hope you guys understand that these may not be trades you can actually follow for that reason. You can at least see the potential of the Dream Trades trade calls. Today's Dream Trade setup is a potential buy on Arcosa Inc. or ACA. I like this one for you guys because this thing gapped down and then dropped down here and hit the 200 period moving average and bounced right off that thing and made this huge wick right here yesterday, or Monday from your point of view. And today it pushed up and tried to break through the 50 but didn't quite do it. So this thing is not triggering today on Tuesday. Hopefully this thing will trigger tomorrow or after tomorrow. Remember, we're going to buy this thing on a daily close above the 50 SMA. Now, taking the dream trades is simple, but it requires a bit of analysis. Just about 30 minutes before the market closes, or say 3:30 p.m. New York time, let's take a look at the charts for all of the calls in the Dream Trades app and find the ones that have been trending in the correct direction. Also, you want to see a spike in the volume on the breaking candle. For a buy, look for a candle close above the 50 SMA, then put your stop loss 95% of the entry price, and the first target of 105% of the entry price. So in other words, take the stock price. In this case, if we were entering right now, 44.47, multiply it by 0.95 to get your stop loss, multiply it by 1.05 to get your first target. When the price hits the first target, we're going to move the stop loss up to break even. Each time the stock moves another 5% in our direction, we'll move our stop loss 5% in that direction, so it will always be 5% behind the current price. Now, just to be clear, the trade management of these dream trades is different from my normal trade pick strategy. In the trade pick strategy, we take some profit when the price hits our first target, and the result of that is typically a lower drawdown, but also a smaller profit when the trade runs. And that's our dream trade for this week. If you want more information about dream trades, just click the link below in the description box. Be sure to come back next Wednesday at 3 p.m. as we continue our discussion of the MT4 trading platform. Don't miss my Trading Picks videos on Fridays and Mondays right here at Trading Strategy Guides YouTube channel at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified when these videos come out. Have a great Wednesday, and I'll see you with a new trading pick on Friday.